Okay. I am dangerously overeducated. I'm going to zoom in a lot of lanes. First of all, just to be warned, I live in a mammal-free environment. I have no adult supervision, and I play well with others. Mandatory scary logo is what's on the back. That's actually an integration of multiple exercises. As you've been seeing over the past whatever time you've been sitting here, everyone's talking about the tech. What about the humans? How do you get the humans to play well with others? How do you get them connect? It turns out that if you take them places, you put them in harsh environments and you yell at them, something I learned as a drill instructor in the Army, they actually bond together. In the background of this slide, you'll see some major embedded subliminal programming, and you'll want to fund me afterwards. Strong Angel, you'll see the wings, you'll see the lightning bolt and the caduceus. Comms, lift, and power. You provide us comms, lift, and power, and we can do just about anything. About the past decade, I've been working with the machine in civil, military, humanitarian communication operations, and it became very clear that the technology was outpacing the ability of the humans within the different agencies to adapt. So a series of exercises were conducted, and my group, which doesn't actually exist, started shadowing these different exercises. First one was Strong Angel, and it was done in Hawaii. It was a civil military operation, and it basically set up refugee camps and allowed us to get real NGOs, real military folks, real refugees, put them all together, use communication, collaboration, geospatial tools to find out what was going on. Got back from that, that was interesting, went over to Africa, realized that we needed to do more homework out in the real world and start bonding across different networks. What became very important is things happen in place and time. That's the common reference frame for the humans. So all of this geospatial coordination and putting dots on the map, that's really important. All right, break, new topic. Aha, it works. More mandatory scary logos. I work in something called shadow operations, where we shadow other events in like the Super Bowl, like the DARPA Grand Challenge, like the tsunami, like Afghanistan and Iraq. In the last 3 years, I've been to Afghanistan 10 times. I was challenged by the Office of Secretary of Defense to find a place where the humans would actually be willing to share information if we provided infrastructure. I talked in some of the agencies, given us an inflatable satellite dish where we can have the fastest unblocked bandwidth in Afghanistan. And as I got over there, we sort of, long story short, took over a UN guest house outside the wire, and I started what has been now commonly referred to as the Beer for Data program. All the NGOs that get together, nobody could talk to each other. I put a 1 terabyte drive on there, gave them free internet, said, with a sign, for public disclosure of course, you give us any data, and I will buy you a beer. In the That is the most effective program ever in the history of information sharing in a war zone. I now have over 1.5 terabytes of reports, maps, images. A couple quick stories of how this has worked for us. I bumped into General John Custer when he was J2 at CENTCOM, so the Director of Intelligence Central Command. I really pitched a bitch. He said, sir, we don't have any imagery. We're flying blind. We can't do what we need to do. Through a series of miraculous things that happened, I ended up with 150 gigs of 60-centimeter satellite data delivered to my house as a global war on terror operation base. So, please don't do that again. However, that's really nice data. I was able to take that data to the field, working with the NGOs that were building the road to the base of Tora Bora, kind of a rough neighborhood, and they were able to use that imagery because they didn't have any pictures from the sky when they came across an area of the road where they had to move grave sites. And the sub-governor said, no, bulldoze the graves out, we don't really care. Well, the sub-governor doesn't actually have to drive on that road. And with the imagery and with the social networks, we actually got the Afghans to move their own graves. That was just a kind of unbelievable IED defeat by stopping them from being angry in the first place. It's kind of a new method. So I came back, my bad. I'm a delete and mutant of the reverence gene. So basically came back, started working on this program on how to actually share more information. And over the time with our Beer for Data program, that 1.5 terabytes, you've heard about this Afghan election that just happened. Well, our data was the data that seeded most of the databases to do the threat analysis. And a friend of mine put a SMS little box at the Taj, which is our guest house, and we had a system that could, in real time, SMS, email, Twitter, or web form, put it up on the map, shared that data to multiple groups. One was a group of anarchists, the other was a group working for USAID and anarchists. And they were able to fuse that data in real time. And two things really interesting happened. One is we were able to give the devices to the SMS, and kids were actually going out to the polling sites that we knew in Jalalabad and were giving us data in real time. And the last part was we were able to call on the phone to somebody in Texas, was talking to someone on the phone in Afghanistan, and the person in Texas was putting live information in, and we were able to see it. We were able to see all the polling data and all the election sites. Happy to talk about it anybody afterwards. Thank you very much.